Okay, in this video we'll try to do a direct translation of the instant translation of the channeling that we had yesterday. So I know that I will not perfectly translate everything instantly, but I think it could be useful. Anyway, let's start. So the head starts spin. Simply, let's start with the Pleiadians. Okay. If they... So we're talking about Pleiadians themselves. Yes, also with them. What they are doing here on Earth. They are not on Earth. Billy's mayor, wasn't he? I cannot describe it yet. They have this blue-like energy. Everybody that's with white and blue energy, they simply like I said, also the chi masters, they have this energy being born, and why these people who had these energies are born here on Earth, they spread it. And that's why they also the people who have this energy on Earth, they are like instantly like the Pleiadian energy messengers. They're coming here to fill this job. Although it's not like that they come from other planet here and start doing all the things. But is it necessary for the Pleiadians to come here and spread their energy here? Why is it necessary? They see Earth as their original. The Pleiadians see the Earth as their original. Original connection. They see human as their original. And every time the sweet words are coming, nice words, as was it in the camp. I want to shift to the channeling because it's like getting difficult right now to speak. But the humans are as their brothers and sisters. It's because of the genetics, yes, it's because of the genetics, and it's because they're original. The human genetics, because they are the human genetical brothers and sisters. And the Earth is their daughter. And that's why these classifications, the classifications are based on the genetics. Meanwhile, if the full human genetics weren't being original, if the human genetics would be like artificially created as a copy, if another race would take this and try to create something similar like human, looking from our genetics, then the Pleiadians would not even pay attention to those because it's a completely different being. But we humans are as a original being. We have the same ancestors in our cell. It will be something. I have a little bit tears coming. It will be something similar like you would say about yourself. If a military person comes take you away from your home, put you in a prison on a Mars, for example, on a different planet, then your parents who have lost you will come and go looking for you. And it gets really emotional at this point. Really emotional, heartful feelings. And that's how are they looking at this process, that it's like something that we talked here before earlier about the races. And they are standing to all of this above. And like we were talking, the problems between the other races, the conflicts between the other races, the process is happening, but the Pleiadians, I cannot talk, it's so tears and tears. Simply speaking, they're saying stop, it cannot continue like this. The connection, there is no connection between any of those races that have come here on Earth. We have no connection genetically to them. We are originally humans. When the stop is happening, is it happening right now or when is it happening? The stop sign is being really intensely being monitored between those three corporations that we talked about. Russians, Chinese, another corporation, and that there is another corporation, and that there is another corporation that is it's like another race, cosmical race, human cosmical race, which is another race, a corporation, and then there is what we talk about, the alien corporation on the moon, which is another completely different corporation and race. And then there is another race that only delivers technologies, expands technologies, sells technologies, and it's everything from military equipment to everything you need for transportation, movements, and defenses. And there's another, like a production race of this. So it's like a huge market out there that's going on. Yes, it's happening like a market. It's like in a stock market. Then you feel that something is about to happen. You feel that something is about to happen, and those ants are running all directions. But if we take the energy from the Pleiadians, they are coming with an energy that is so, how to say, heartful. And I remember in the camp they were talking about their own origin, and they were talking from in the camp that they have a huge higher dimensional support, and they are looking more to the heartfulness. And the questioner is asking, yes, but how is it coming that that Earth civilization jumped into to like a meat machine? It's not the last century. The story is really, really old. Do you want to hear the story? It's really, they're really wishing to talk with you. The story begins from a really, really old times, hundreds of thousands years ago. From our perspective, it's from this time which we are here. There have happened many changes, as we remember. We can classify it to a dinosaur-like, rock-like, metal age, catastrophical ages, many changes, and in any sake, human as is it right here, he has gone through many changes, and the beginning how it all started, it starts many thousands of years ago, that if you look at our solar system, and again those intruders from other galaxies see this as a really beautiful and unique place that we can see on this planet, that planet, and we can fulfill it with their jobs that they are interested in. You'd say they're colonists. We can take a look at their more if you are interested in them more. But more simply, yeah, you can say those are like colonists that come in this solar system. And you can imagine something like similar. Imagine a store a supermarket, there is a free space, and there is an empty space right here, and then the colonists are coming here and they see, yeah, there's a free space which we can inhabit or do our jobs or do our interests, how we can use this space. And then they start looking how we can use this space for colonies. And it's like there is like a group of civilizations that come here to look at planet Earth. It's a living being. They have oxygen, they have trees, they have nature. What can we do here? We can create interesting things, something like a humans. But on the planet Earth there are many other races like insects, animals, and bigger trees or something that could not be harmonious to this new human that we are creating. Then we take everything off, clean it, wipe it out, put a human there, and then we see how it evolves and see how it's happening. And at every moment we put a new change to it or change something. And you can more similarly say this is the colonists have a scientific approach to this. Yeah, but on which moment it went all to ruin or in difficulties, when humans started to cut each other's throats, and the ending started to industrialize the planet. It's a little bit difficult right now because I have channeled Pleiadians earlier before, and this is getting a little bit difficult because the story now comes over again, and it's really difficult for me to answer this question. All I can do is answer the same thing that they have told me in the channeling earlier before. Human. And again, they are showing me many intruders, and it's in our time scale there have been so many intruders, many intruders. There weren't times. There haven't been times that when human is incredibly, you would say, cutting throats to each other with a knife and cut their throat. There have been times in earlier then such things were more closer to this energy that you were saying, and more intense like this. But right at this moment it's not that intense. They classify this moment more as a stress. It's like a shock wave before the storm. It's like as we said, it's like something in the stock market. You know something is coming, and everybody is like running around, screaming around. It's like in a I would say bee house. Everything's like moving and shaking in all directions. Chaotical movements. And some people may say that they're trying to make the right steps, but they still are having this uncertainty about the steps they're trying to take. That's why we are not saying that the current time right here is not like cutting each other's throats. It's like more of a time. Agresivitāte izteiktāk, spēcīgāk mēs klasificētu un stāstītu to šādā veidā, ka cilvēks, viņš pats so this time right here is not that everybody is cutting their throats through aggression, but there have been times when people were more aggressive and were doing things similar as you were describing. We will classify this as humans not energetically defended from cosmical radiance. So in case, for example, over your planet Earth, if over your planet Earth there flies over a huge energetical wave in color of red, energetical field that could be from another civilization, we can classify this race as similar to humans, but completely They have similarities to human, but they are completely different looking from human. But they are truly fulfilled with the red energy. And human reaction on that energy would create aggression that can create more intense of the aggression itself. So, for example, as we were saying that, for example, if in your airspace energy field like this approaches, from these, as you could say, the intruders, in an unpolite word, then humanity on Earth starts to feel these energies, consciousness or unconsciousness, as a cosmic radiance, and they start affecting from these energy radiance. And also in their free will, they start to take effects on the human race on Earth, and starts a new chaos, you would say, from this energy that starts like an aggressive energy starts arising and creating a chaos. And therefore we classify, and that's why we classify this as why humans are cutting throats to each other, and at those times we will classify this only as that human energetical field and the energetical space on the orbit of planet is very, very in a deep chaos, and a differentiality in all directions from many races, others, and energy fields, and human is not protected from this. So, for example, if energy cloud appears and starts changing our climate, energetical climate, psychological climate, energetical climate, and then it's hard to imagine that human can get along with this, can manage this. And if a human cannot manage this, then what will happen? And human itself fully can manage it, would manage it, in only that point when the all-energy chaos, whirlpools, noises that are in your solar system will become balanced. Only then human can manage these energy radiations from the cosmos. And then human will by itself quickly remember who he actually is, and it will come strongly with a peace, and then will he ask with a huge question to himself, what have I done globally, individuality? And human by itself could and can restart itself when, and he will then have no will to come sit in a car or sit in a house which he is sitting in in a flat. Human will have only one wish, to go out and look at the world, what he has created in an unimaginable way, why he has created such a thing. Why is he driving in this vehicle, in a car, or why is he pushing himself pain, sitting in a flat, in a room like this? Which is another human like flat, like a room, is mainly not suitable for as we have created in our times right here, that it's not suitable even for inhabiting here in the flat. And the cosmical radiance, for example, by being in such an environment, creates even an inner energy, you can say it as a stress, tension, and all those noises around you that you can all imagine. What are those noises? And all these noises take you away from your true being, from your true self. You won't say in one point those are unconsciously is doing the steps, doing the things he is doing by being affected from this radiance, energetical radiance. So how we want to classify this is simply what light shines upon you from the cosmos. In that direction you all are going to, and also it could creating a chaos, chaos. I have a feeling, thinking way, that it's really interesting things happening. Interesting in a way, like shocking, interesting things are happening. We will give you a really simple method that go and step aside. That interesting thing that you are thinking, that noises, tension, stress, let them be where they are. Don't touch them, don't involve with them. Find your harmonious place in this planet Earth that you will say, where are you living? In your sweet loving home. Find your warm, comfortable place and wait at least 3 another years for them that are unharmonious, unpeaceful. Let them stress out. Let them, you would say, live out those stresses in which they are living. So then we can understand that the possibility. So in a way, it looks like that you can see what the situations will happen and what will happen and what will be the situations that will happen in the future. Can you please classify this question so we can understand it better? I have this feeling that this global finance system will break apart, will crash. This global banking system that you were saying, we will classify it as it has tremendously accelerated, and this banking system has entered another completely new chaos whirlpool, and it's out of control, getting out of control. There have been like controllers that have been really in a effective control over this banking systems. But now every human itself, the banks themselves, the governments themselves, the banks themselves start in a way they think that they understand what they are doing, but still they feel chaos, stress and worries in the system. And if we take all these global banking systems and the system itself and put it in your hands, and then you can see that by this compression you can see there's a huge stress, tension, compression. I would say it's like a chain that is being so stressfully tensed, stretched, that even it starts to shake. And this chain, you can sit back and you can just sit down and look as this chain is approaching the moment of breaking. It could be breaking apart, and it can be a harmonious leveling out. And therefore this moment we say and classify this, it's more like an observing process, what will happen. So the idea that I have, it will be something simple, as you simply are watching, as you are looking on a really disbalanced car's engine, He's going completely out of control, vibrating noisily, shaking in the field which the engine is sitting in, and you as a master, as a technical support, you're looking and you're doing small steps at a time, adjusting one screw, adjusting one wire, and then look whether it gets aggressive or it gets peaceful. And therefore the same system is with the banks also, and also including with the humanity themselves. It's a really close observing to which it's going, and we're going a step at a time to see where it's going. And the thought, possibly the system of the banking system, money system, and all the banking system, money system, and the financial systems, the instruments of it, is a completely illogical system. This is the question. Let me finish. I believe there are societies in cosmos where there are no money system as such, and it's also an experience that we could integrate here on Earth. And the question is that for the Pleiadians, do they have the money system as such, or don't they? And the channeler, the money system isn't. Pleiadians don't have any money system, even a need for such a money system. Everything is in absolute harmony, in a balance with each another. Everything that you need is everything and freely accessible. Because while you are being as a human, all humans, everybody within you, around you, everybody is wanting and fulfilling to give it to you, what you need. So, as we are classifying as a money system on planet Earth, as an exchange process on Earth, it is incredibly inefficient, highly inefficient and highly unneeded process. But it has integrated so strongly in the system, as the money system has so integrated in the society, and it's becoming as the only string that nearly holds the society together. It's like a one string, one wire that keeps you connected to the society, holds society together. As soon as this string will break apart, the banking system will break apart, or money system breaks apart, when the wiring that holds you to the system, to the society system, will break, then every human will start go and be completely not attached to the system. It will be, if we would say, financial collapse, that it will be simply as we described, been there, we have done that, and we have no more interest to the system. Can you? Okay, we can imagine a society where somebody is growing bananas and producing milk, and you can offer this milk to every person that comes next to you, and he will have a joy that he takes the milk or banana. If you have been so used to the money system, it's really hard to imagine how or what system can change it, what system can, on which system can change this money system or replace it. Can you give us, or how can I imagine this? How can a society work without a money exchange? the thought went away. Wait. First, what you know instantly already, that you can look that a human is not growing a banana or a pear, so that he can give the pears or bananas to other people. He's growing tomatoes and sees them with money, sees them as a money, as a dollar bills, and by this he's creating also stress, tensions with himself, and we're putting this stress and tension together. And while the stress is being compressed together or put together, also this person is creating unnecessary stress, unnecessary tension. And he has a stress and a distinct need for being in consumption even more and more and more. So, in simple words, what we're trying to tell. So, the self idea of running for the money, so the self going after money, worrying about money, it creates even a bigger stress, a bigger tension within the humans themselves, that with his logical and peaceful life creates in a more compressed and more invisible, and therefore the self human consumption creates even more wider, bigger, and the addiction against money gets more and more stronger, and there's huge stress, huge tension that creates even a more and more greater need for consumption, because this evolves because within inside there is a huge chaos, huge stress and huge tensions, and he's trying to fulfill these needs. And the human is trying to fulfill these needs. Human is trying to run after these needs. Therefore, it's a mechanism that even amplifies and compresses everything and creates everything even in more out of balance. In the process that we call harmonical, in words that we call harmonious living, such money system in simple words that we were trying to say is that, for example, in the money system that you have, you, for example, grow one tomato, you sell one tomato, and you receive $1, for example. It will create you the feeling of lack, and will give you more addiction to run after those tomatoes, the money, and you will always want to get more to survive. But at the beginning, if you create 10 tomatoes, you take one for yourself and give 9 to others, to your friends. You will always have even more and more, and then those friends will give also to you, and will create expansion even more and more and more. And therefore the overall system will not fulfill the need for money, but it will fulfill for the need of the products. So the overall system will just the new system will just fulfill the need for the products, not for the need for the money. Therefore, the whole system in which you are living would be created not to gain money, but it will be a line for sharing, created for sharing. Yeah, okay. It helps me to understand, by the way, that I have a parrot in the background, so I hope you don't hear it too loudly. We will have another sample there are people that would truly want to work. There will be truly people that want to participate for works. But for example, in your money system, there are factories that, by lack of money, are being closed down. For example, huge these thermal house plantations where you can grow tomatoes are closed due to lack of money. But for example, in the region there are poor people that truly would want to work there, but even not for the money, but they can inhabit this factory, and all the local city region will grow all that they need and will start sharing with all that they have and work with all that they need. But if people are being sunk into feelings of lack of money, and this whole system is being controlled by some laws to close down these factories, then by the control of this money system, the companies are closed down and closed down and closed down, and therefore the local people don't have the ability to work there, even if they wish to work there. Yeah, okay, I understand, but as we are talking about you with the Pleiadians, can you mention a specific method? How could such a system change, or how does a no money system work? We can now classify due to that we are creating a remote communication, and we are looking for a need for a situation, and if this need if we sense this need, then we start coming closer and closer. But we would say right now you're talking with the representatives of Pleiadians. So the idea was that if there would be a stronger need for this communication, then a more individual person from Pleiadians will come to channeling. But right now, as it has a overall channeling, overall information, we are just talking with the informational field of the Pleiadians. So we'll just simply describe or state the word that we. So you specifically, do you have a flying spaceship? Yes, we have. But we want to adjust a little bit. Yes, we have the thing that you call a spaceship, not a flying ship. Those are not even a transportation vehicles. We call them a different. Do you call it as a teleportation instrument? Yes, this would be a little bit closer. We use them to a specific job needs. So, okay, but I have a question. So, okay, there's one way that you can grow tomatoes with the energy of the earth, so the tomatoes grow out of the earth. But how did you get a flying disc? How did you get the flying vehicle? What did you do to get this vehicle? I have heard the information that every flying vehicle is being built specifically to a specific pilot. So you want to join a little bit closer to the flying disc, the flying spacecraft, or you want to stay to the topic of the money system? I want to talk about the money system, but for example, if down here on Earth there is a money system like that, you get the needed money that you can get together to buy a vehicle. Yes. How can you get this vehicle? How can you achieve this vehicle at your planet? In this specific moment, we are not in a flying saucer. We are not. This flying spacecraft that we have, it's not designed to stay there. It's not designed for living in there. It's designed for specific jobs. The spacecrafts that you are talking about are the spacecrafts that, for example, you need to travel to Earth and back, for instance. Yes. We don't call them as flying machines. The word to describe it's really hard to describe, but you can use it as a trocop. It could be a really strange word. It's a little bit different, and it describes, and the name has been arised, and the name came from, and the name comes similarly from breaking time and space, that we call as a trembling, spinning white energy, that we call as a trocop, that has this energy that can cut through time and space, and therefore the equipment and the model is called, that we understand, we can just say the name trocop. Therefore we call this not as a spacecraft, we call this as a strong energy generator, manipulator, and this energetical generator manipulator we use for traveling in time and space. So how do we buy them? How do we get them? Thank you for the question. We already wanted to talk about this. So we start to talk by how all the system in which we are living is being governed by. We have to mention again that the Pleiadian the Pleiadian field in which we work in is like being a little bit aside from from the overall Pleiadian civilization. We have laboratory institutions, technical institutions, scientific institutions. That is like a three planet in 3 planets that are related in these jobs, that have these scientific technological institutions that work in galactical means and galactical missions. And one of those institutions is also working on interdimensional energy understanding, and humans on Earth, it's called like a unknown information, unknown knowledge, and therefore humans have many questions what it is. Therefore also these methods, these technologies here on these scientific vessels, planets, also these researches and knowledges not only help to gather more and more information between dimensions, but also allows traveling between higher densities. densities. So, therefore, if you are being born and you have will to be as a Pleiadian, as a human aliens, as we called, and you have been, if you have wished to be here and involved in these humans, especially children in our society that they are belong to our system, they have a free possibility to travel around and look around. That everything that's happening in this Pleiadian system between all the specific institutions, that's everything that's happening on the Pleiadian institutions, in every institution, in similarity as on your planet. Specifically, still about Pleiadians, that specifically from the age of 7, you can do a research on everything that's happening here, starting from society, maintenance institutions, biological institutions, genetical institutions, technological institutions, medical institutions. Then there is a specific field of ecological systems. Then there's environment systems that you simply would understand. It's simply how everything looks and where you are living and how everything exists when you are living. And therefore, and so on and so on and so on. And there are also specifically a system that only keeps the water maintenance and water quality systems. It doesn't even involve the name of water purification or cleansing system. It simply means observing water. And we have many more systems, starting from bigger systems and smaller systems. And there, for example, these children that are 7 to 13 years and there are exclusions also from 30 to 60 years. And they have this ability to, this possibility to travel around between these systems, institutions, in overall over these planets as a field trip. And where the children or individual starts feeling resonance in this institution, he has all the possibilities to learn, to study, to join, to be in this particular system, institution. And for example, also, if this trocop spaceship that we call the interstellar travelers, we can say also the classification as missions, that they have all the possibilities and chances to work in this field, to work in this institution, and to express creatively and with intellectual in this environment, in this institution. Comparing from your society, and comparing between your society, in our system there is no place that somebody asks money from you. There is no place that somebody asks money for you, comparing to your system, where you should pay. And then you can keep yourself, then you can join the system, and then also you need to, once you are working in this institution or learning in this institution, from your side if you look, and you still need to have to work in another institution to maintain yourself, to like buy everything that you need, to like look after yourself. And you have, therefore you would have twice as more time to work in one field. So what we are saying, and therefore also for this this interstellar institution, you have even twice more time to work there. And also, if we are looking at this interstellar and also this technological institution, which is a different institution, if they come across to a technology that we can, that the technological institution sees that it can become useful for society maintenance, infrastructure. It could be a technology that can support all the humans with everything that is necessary for them, including food. If the technological institution comes along to a technology that can be useful for the institution that maintains, for example, the food supplies, they can simply give this technology to the other institution, because the other institution is already supporting them, for example, with food and with food supplies, so they can just share this technology. So if we are looking at this direction, so in this system, so if you look at this system, then the money is incredibly unnecessary thing. If we compare money, it would be something similar to like if a car has two drive wheels in front, that the rear wheels would be like brakes all the time, would brake and slow down the car. But if this infrastructure is created that it helps each other institution, supports each other institution, there you can see that all the energy accelerates you and moves you forward. Okay, yes, I understood something more. Thank you for this. But still there is talking about the trocop 11. How did you get the trocop 11? We didn't have the name trocop 11. Yeah, I'm just talking about, like, so I just imagined, ironized this. I imagined this 11 myself. We have trocop 0. So you have a scientific institution that invented it, or how does it happen? Yeah, we have a scientific institution about the trocop that we were just talking about. It's a two-passenger transport, a ship, you would say. It's been scientifically researched and studied based on high-frequency energy fields that have already been known earlier before. Then by studying these electromagnetic fields that have been studied in the scientific research laboratories, they come across to the conclusion that these strong vibration energy fields can be used for, and it can be used to like transport all this ship to time and space between dimensional and also in these dimensional places. So in simple words, it's a really strong energetical field. In similar words, it could be something similar looking as your thunder strikes. So the trocop is equipment that creates like a thunderbolt around the equipment and breaks time and space apart and jumps to each to time and space where it's necessary. So therefore there is a scientific team and manufacturer or factory that produced this trocop especially for you. Specifically not for me alone. specifically for this interstellar institution. So when you need the spaceship, you ask them to like give you this interstellar trocop. Am I correct? We have really not even a need to ask for it or to beg for it. We have already know the jobs that are necessary, and also for these jobs that we already know the equipment which is necessary. And also we have a known model, the ship which is necessary for this specific job in this mission that's necessary. Even you think if it's necessary to go somewhere, you already know where you need to go, why do you need to go, and therefore you have this access to this spaceship to fulfill this job. So also these jobs and missions that are given, they still come from a level above. There is like institution above us that monitors and figures out the jobs that are necessary to do. And they make the decisions and choices in which their direction and what are the correct steps that are necessary. So therefore, if it's a job that needs to involve or take action on another planet, and for this job it's known that you need to transport yourself to that planet. So we can imagine, for example, if it's a planet that has ecological changes that are happening. So for example, you need to. So for example, then you need this model that can take you to this planet. Then we have only a model that goes there. Then we have only a spaceship that can only observe the situation there. And there are also equipments that can make changes in the environment. And when everything is packed and set up and ready to go, we are going to that direction and do the things that are necessary. Okay. Okay. I'm a little lost in the questions. I will think about the next question. Maybe you have something to say. We can comparatively say to the questions you are asking about the money system and money value system. We are saying that people already from the money system, from the banking system, human inside themselves already are feeling the unpleasant feeling about this, like something disgusting. Like this is something disgusting, and inner stress, inner tensions to it that even slows down their will to work, and even also this creates the overall work itself slows down and creates it more difficult. But for example, if the system would be even not a money system, we cannot even find a word that is more closer to it. That we would call this constructive something like a tie that's been mashed together, spin together, and really strongly tied up, and there is not a similar word that I can tell this. To stop working, we can give you one alternative, not even now, but it can start useful for you if you start to understand this, that this money system is only slowing you down and taking energy away from you. And comparing to another system that just says to you everything in your life is completely being supplied and supported for you fully, and you can only come here and do this one thing right here, a simplest thing, that simply just go for a 3-hour job, simply as a 3-hour job, pack tomatoes or deliver tomatoes, or start this equipment, or deliver necessary things for this equipment. You would even spend maybe 3 hours a week, 3 hours a day, and the beneficial energy would be much, 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 much greater. And by slowly going to this system, you will go to it really slowly, really slowly. Humans will just simply, in effectivity level, comparing on this effectivity, how it's happening right now, and the effectivity will grow many, 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 many times greater. Respectively, by meaning you create like a communes, like a groups of people that will do what they wish. It doesn't have to be a group, it doesn't have to be a commune. It's simply a system. It's simply a system where people can just simply join, simply like people that join a website. And this system, this website will replace one simple field in your society. For example, all the time in your house you will always have tomatoes. One institution will be replaced so that you can deliver these tomatoes to these humans. To deliver these tomatoes, deliver these systems, all these humans that are involved in this system, to deliver these tomatoes to all those persons who are in this system, you only need few steps, like growing, delivering, and in the same way eating also. So to completely satisfy this system, you need a maximum of 12 people. And for example, if in the system there are 100 people, therefore then the little amount of tomatoes that you need to supply, you have to go to job every 8 day, maybe only for 1 hour or maybe for 3 hours, depending on how the system is created. And for example, if in this overall system that you have right now here on Earth, if many, many, many institutions are being replaced with such a system, with such processes, not only tomatoes, there could be also pears, there could be also house heating, also electricity delivery, and therefore, if those systems are being replaced slowly, and the man saying, oh, this is a good idea. The idea is not an idea, it's a system. And then when everything is minimally being satisfied, what is necessary for the human itself, also for the water system itself, water delivery itself, if you can say like this, when everything is satisfied, human loses the need to run out of control in the system. He sees even more possibilities, he sees even more beautiful chances that he can express himself in a more creative way. He has a physical relax with inside. He become a human in peace, and it instantly opens you the possibility to become more creative, opened. In the same time, more and more chances you will see, more and more possibilities to make this more and more beautiful. and overall life experience as itself more beautiful. And then there is also information that, I don't know, that humans as we are here as a species, that they have many colonies in cosmos, and also colonies where there are really bright, knowledgeable people, as whatever how they have got there, that they have these technologies that are miracle technologies, and also if those technologies exist, that why are they still not being introduced to the society? Human itself, as right now he is existing here on Earth, he has no need for a free energy in this system. And in this system that's already been created on Earth, the free energy completely does not fit in this system that we were talking about. That this key doesn't, this free energy device doesn't fit, and he will not fit unless humans. It would not even fit unless, or even if 30% of humans are in the no money system that we were talking about. And if more than 30 people are in this no money system that we were talking about, that they will see also that this equipment, this free energy device, it could be really beneficial for the society. But right now, if the equipment is being given, the humans see it as even a more, and they see it more as also another thing that you can earn money and put it to work in, and create this system even more stronger. So in simple words, if those technologies, for example, the high techs that could be beneficial to us, right here, right now, they are not usable to us in a beneficial way. Because in this huge house that you have right here, which we talked about previously, that let it still live out, vibrate out, calm down, and then with a more open mind and a clearer mind, you can look at the system again. So I want to ask that people that have already on other colonies, on other planets, have invented these technologies. They are not only colonies, this is the channeler answering now, that they are not only colonies, there are scientific institutions that truly see that there are technologies specifically down here on Earth are can help in a specific field as pollution, as recycling, energy deficit, and there are these equipments that can satisfy this lack of food, lack of energy supply, lack of everything. And also this scientific group knows this equipment, and they feel that it's necessary to give this equipment, but there is a chain and owners to those systems, like system maintenance from these corporations, one of those three that we are talking, that they don't see and don't understand or cannot understand the risks in all this chaos, in all this madness that's going on here, whether this equipment is beneficial to the corporation and the system that's being created, or this is just another complication, or this is another complication to the system. So, as we're talking about the stretched chain which is shaking, or it will break apart, or even if we deliver those technologies, or more closely it will break apart or will calm down. So these steps are yet not sure and not known, therefore they are still keeping their directions, but they are not sure if whether this will help or this will not help the system in their corporation beneficial way. So it's like basically a controlling mechanism that's choosing whether this equipment right now is beneficial or not. What I want to ask, that these corporations, have they yet not lived out their time? How do you see them? The systems will transform to another system, and it still will be a system, or how do you see this? We can classify it in a different way. When slowly, also the system owners, they will slowly come to the understanding, and by this understanding they will start to change, the people working there will start to change themselves, becoming more humans. By those who are more humans, they will start working more in the humanity interests, and they would like break apart and split in part. And those who are more in cosmical, they will go to cosmical, and those who are more alien type of interests, corporations, they will go and split to more alien type of corporations. Okay, so I think it's enough for today. I have to do other stuff right now, so the translation is finished. But the question that comes here is about parallel realities and what's happened in other parallel realities, and then the being which we called as John, which referred to name as John, said that he said that it's not his name, but you can refer to it. That he said that the parallel realities are like waves of light coming out from the source in different directions, and then therefore you can just enter one of this direction and see how the evolution lasted in that direction, how the evolution lasted in the other direction, and you can go and study and connect with them and do research with them and take the best from their experiences and put it into this reality and this experience in a beneficial way. So he was talking that parallel realities are like shelves which you can open and have a look, and then the person who asked the question whether I have somebody parallel in another reality, whether I exist in another parallel reality. And then the John said that he said that there is to find exactly you who is existing in another parallel reality, we need to have more time, and we cannot do it right now. We can do it in another time. We need to check for you and find you in other realities to make sure that you exist in other realities, and even if in which then. So, but the parallel realities were short because at one point I just said it's enough for me to do channeling, and then we agreed to do next channeling next week, where we will talk about more insights of how the planet system, the Pleiadians, are on their galaxy. So stay tuned for the next channeling. It will be more about looking into the Pleiadian star system, more into the society of the Pleiadians. So thank you for listening. Our website is artlineofflinepeace.info, and you can sign up there, and you can also ask questions there, and we can also then ask on the channeling these questions, and we look on those questions that are asked. So thank you. It's enough for me today. I spent like 1 hour and 30 minutes, and from the yesterday channeling my throat is still a little bit sore because we did lots of talking. And I have another seminar this evening, so I really need to get ready for that. So thank you for watching, and I found a way to do this translation, and to me it looks really simple, And so the thing is that I will keep on translating in this way. So if you have any like suggestions what I'm saying correctly or what should I work on my speech, just tell me, because I will most definitely not listen the translation over and over again. But even if you write on the comment section, I will read them, and then I will, next time when I do a translation, I will like pay attention to your suggestions. So because I'm not an English person, English speaking person, and my mother language is Latvian, so I will need to get used to it, and even to the translation process, because many words I don't know how to translate them, and many things that you have heard, you don't take it 100% exactly like they said, but this is just an interpretation and translation that happen quickly. So thank you for watching, and keep in touch. Bye.